What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. And ladies and sports fans, and gentlemen, we got to talk about these Dallas Cowboys again as things just keep getting worse and worse for them. As they faced off against the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFC East rival, Philadelphia Eagles, and they were completely thrashed. Final score: Philadelphia Eagles 34 to the Dallas Cowboys 6. And this was the first game featuring Cooper Rush, the backup quarterback. He started for the Dallas Cowboys, and man, this was as bad as you can imagine it being. Cooper, everybody was placing some kind of hope on his shoulders to save this season. Pseudo hope anyway, pseudo. Um, but he couldn't do much more than what Dak was doing, respectfully. And this team got torn to pieces, man. The defense got torn up. Micah Parsons called out Mike McCarthy. I guess we can call it a call out, on Mike McCarthy earlier. So things are just getting bad and worse and uglier for the Dallas Cowboys. It seemed like week in and week out. But I'm going to read this article a little bit from ESPN, as I feel like they captured the game the way I seen it. The title of the article says Jalen Hurts accounts for 4 touchdowns as Eagles roll past bumbling Prescott-less Dallas Cowboys 34-6. And yes, we do have to give some credit to the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. He absolutely played some football this game. Jalen Hurts is one of those guys that gets a lot of criticism, when the Philadelphia Eagles are doing bad. But usually, if they're doing good, it's because Jay Hurts is doing good. And he did a fantastic job this game, accounting for 2 rushing touchdowns and as well as 2 passing touchdowns. Can't be mad at all at what Jalen Hurts did leading this team. But the article goes on to say Jalen Hurts had just lost a fumble that could have put Philadelphia behind in the first half against Dallas. An inept Cowboys offense, missing quarterback Dak Prescott, couldn't do anything with it, and Hurts didn't make another big mistake after that. Hurts threw 2 touchdown passes and ran for a pair of scores, and the Eagles rolled to a 34-6 victory over the bumbling Cowboys on Sunday in the first game since Dak Prescott tore a hamstring. Momentum is an illusion in the sense, Jalen Hurts said. Just treat every day just treat every play like its own. Hurts shook off 2 sacks from Micah Parsons in the star pass rusher's return from a 4-game absence with an ankle injury. The second sack leading to the fumble that put Dallas on Philadelphia's 6-yard line, with the Cowboys trailing 7-3. After his defense held the Cowboys to a field goal, Hurts led an 84-yard drive in the final 2 minutes, capped by a 14-yard touchdown to Dallas Goedert, the tight end who missed the previous 3 games with a hamstring injury. The Eagles, 7-2, took over first place in the NFC East with their 5th consecutive victory, while defending the division champion Dallas 3-6. Fell to 0-4 at home in a 4th straight loss overall. Early in the first half, Hurts threw an interception in the end zone with a chance to take a 14-3 lead. Obviously, didn't start the way we wanted to start. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni said, but there's something to be said for the guys that can rebound and play a really good game after things don't go right early on. Cooper Rush didn't look anything like the replacement who went 4-1, filling in for Dak Prescott 2 years ago, going 13 of 23 for just 45 yards. Rush won the first 4 games in that 2022 stretch before throwing 3 interceptions in the loss to these very respective Eagles. Picks weren't the problem this time. Just about everything else was. Rush lost 2 fumbles among 5 turnovers for the Cowboys and was replaced briefly by Trey Lance early in the second half, then for good in the fourth quarter as frequent boos cascaded from the crowd. Trey Lance himself threw an interception. Prescott won't be back anytime soon, if at all, this season. The franchise QB plans to seek one more medical opinion before deciding whether to have season-ending surgery on the hamstring he tore in last week's 27-21 loss to Atlanta. Let's see. Okay, it goes into some of those comments that Michael Parsons made. Understand that understand that our quarterback's out. Michael Parsons said things ain't always going to be how you expect it, and it kind of just it kind of just got to be, and it kind of just got to be the light. I don't know what this dude is saying. It's one of them years where, like I say, it's challenging, but we got to be the light for everybody. The worst offensive showing for the Dallas Cowboys at home since AT&T Stadium opened in 2009, just 146 total yards. Won't do much to quell talk about the future of Mike McCarthy, who is on an expiring contract. Jerry Jones goes on to say he doesn't believe they'll be making a coaching change during the season. The inept Dallas offense gave Hurts plenty of time to settle in after the rough start. He was 14 of 20 for 202 yards with 56 rushing yards before getting replaced by Kenny Pickett with the Eagles, leading 31-6 in the fourth quarter. All right, the article goes on. It's a very long article. It goes on to say other things, highlighting this game, but that's it, man, for that one. Again, the Philadelphia Eagles take the lead in this division. That's essentially been a toss-up between themselves and the Dallas Cowboys over the last few years. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case this year. The Washington Commanders have been having something to say about this division as well. But the Philadelphia Eagles do take a 1-game lead over them. In a couple games, 4 games over the Dallas Cowboys now. Is it time to declare that the Dallas Cowboys season is a lost? I mean, let's be honest. The future of Dak is unknown. The defense has looked terrible. I mean, Dan Quinn, where are you? The Dallas Cowboys shouldn't have definitely let him go, but they did place a lot of blame at his feet last season. So this is what they get, man. This is what they get. The Dallas Cowboys look terrible out here, and I just don't know where else they go. The Philadelphia Eagles, 7-2, have seemed to have a bounce back after last season, 2022. They went to the Super Bowl, and then followed up that Super Bowl campaign with a not so good season last year. I think they started off like 8-1 or something like that, and 11, and I forget how. They started off really, really good and then ended off really, really bad. So the Philadelphia Eagles seem to have found their footing, especially with the new offensive coordinator and the new defensive coordinators over there. Look like they finally putting it all together, man. So real quick, let's look at these team stats, as I do like to look at these as far as getting a pictograph, if you will, of how the game went. And oh my goodness, if we went by the numbers, this game was exactly that, as the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely decimated the Dallas Cowboys. And it says so in the numbers. 24 first downs for the Philadelphia Eagles compared to 11 for the Dallas Cowboys. Total yards, 348 for the Philadelphia Eagles compared to 146 for the Dallas Cowboys. Also, as we said earlier, that this was the worst offensive output of the Dallas Cowboys at home. In the time that they've been in their new stadium, AT&T Stadium, which opened in 2009. Passing yards, 161 for the Philadelphia Eagles compared to 49 for the Dallas Cowboys. Goodness gracious, that is putrid. Rushing was a little better for the Cowboys. They did 97 yards there compared to 187 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Penalties, 7 for the Eagles, 5 for the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, y'all. Wait, I'm looking at this. Time of possession, 34 minutes, almost exactly 34 minutes and 1 second to the Philadelphia Eagles, 25 minutes and 59 seconds to the Dallas Cowboys. And hold on, we go through the box scores? I didn't even do the box score. I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. I'm going to rush through this real quick. Speaking of Rush, Cooper Rush, he went 13 of 23, 45 yards, and got sacked one good time, put up a rating of 61.7. Trey Lance, 4 of 6. He was intercepted one time, finished the day with 21 yards and a QB rating, not a QB rating, but a overall rating of 32.6. Rico Dowdell led the way in the rushing department. He had 12 carries, 53 yards, no touchdown scores. Ezekiel Elliott, 6 rushes for 22 yards. Very quiet for him. The receiving core, Jake Ferguson led the way with 4 receptions, 24 yards. CeeDee Lamb had 6 receptions for 21 yards. Tried to do all he could. I feel bad for CD, man. He's in a very rough situation right now with the Dallas Cowboys. The defense, they were able to come up with 5 sacks, 2 to DeMarvion Overshown. Half a sack to Carl Lawson, half a sack to Osa, and then 2 sacks to Micah Parsons in his first game back. For the victor, the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, he went 14 of 20, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Again, sacked 5 times, but put up an overall rating of 115. Kenny Pickett came in the game. He finished 1 of 2 for 5 yards. Saquon Barkley, who had that crazy play last week, jumping over folks backwards. He had 14 carries for 66 yards. No touchdown scores for him. Jalen Hurts rushed 7 times for 56 yards. So there's that. Oh, yeah, and Jalen Hurts also put up 2 touchdown scores, respectfully. A.J. Brown led the way for the receiving room. He had 5 receptions for 109 yards, a big game for A.J. He had 7 targets, caught 5 of those targets. And that was kind of it, man. Devontae Smith, the undisputed number 2 option for this team. He only had 2 receptions for 14 yards on his 3 targets, which I felt that. I got Devontae Smith on both of my fantasy football teams. Didn't get much production out of him at all. The defense for the Eagles, they finished with 3 sacks, 5 tackles for a loss. Half a sack went to Jalen Carter. Half a sack went to Brandon Graham. Another sack, a full sack, went to Bryce Huff. So the newly acquired pass rusher for the Philadelphia Eagles. So yeah, man, it's all bad in the Dallas Cowboys nation right now. Again, with the injury to Dak, to the uncertainty of the offense, to the flashes of good greatness for the defense. As Trayvon Diggs was able to accumulate an interception. He got that interception on Jalen Hurts. The flashes of good times for the defense just isn't enough for the Dallas Cowboys to give them any kind of hope. So, and I'm going to cover the comments that Micah Parsons made about Mike McCarthy in another video, as I think it's very alarming what he said. And I can't remember exactly what he said. I just recall him, going at Mike McCarthy a little bit, talking about his job security. Mike McCarthy. Michael Parsons is making comments on Mike McCarthy's job security. So I'm gonna listen to that interview one more time real quick, get the exact quotes, and we'll make a video highlighting that. But other than that, that's all I got for y'all on this one. Again, the Philadelphia Eagles was able to win in a blowout fashion, 34-6 over the Dallas Cowboys, taking the first place lead in the NFC East. And we'll see what happens from here. On your way out, please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always interested to hear what you all have to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Thank y'all for the love and support. Peace.